I didn't want to make this video. I really did not want to make this video at all. The last thing I ever want to do in any of my videos is come across as a bully, especially in a video addressing someone who's not very popular. But sometimes things happen. You try to stop it, but some people make things so much worse for themselves that it feels like making a video is the only way to get your point across. And even then, I can't guarantee it. I've learned in the past that the only way to get people to stop doing what they do is not to attack or abuse or send them death threats. That only gets you into more trouble and draws even more hate. You need to explain your argument sensibly with words of reason. You almost want to bore people with your arguments. With that said, let's talk about a little YouTuber known as Willowsway. Willowsway is an English YouTuber who likes to make interesting content like reaction videos, food reviews, and mostly recording himself wrestling stuffed animals. Initially, from what I've described, it might sound like I'm picking on a 15-year-old kid who makes silly videos that you can just ignore and go and watch PewDiePie instead.
What a fucking
But when you dig deeper, you discover that Willowsway is actually quite a disturbing, attention-seeking channel that tries so hard to be cool and popular that it backfires and draws the attention of bullies and trolls. What exactly do I mean by disturbing and attention-seeking? Now, I want to address exactly what I know and what I've experienced with this kid. My story is only one side of the story, and I've been lucky enough not to have him say abusive stuff to me. Other channels such as RXM and God's Work have also posted videos expressing their views or just exposing the guy.
And also shout out to the clan you mentioned yesterday.
Oh, the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah!
I do realize while I'm saying this that technically I am exposing Willow too, but I want to do it in a sensible, reasonable way that hopefully Willow will see as a guise to stop going down the spiteful path he's heading down and use it to become a better person and creator. I know it's not likely, but I'm a hopeful person. Bear with me. I'm going to start with when I first met Willowsway, around last year or so. When I'm not studying for my childcare degree, I like to chat on Discord, which is basically Skype for gamers. Willow just happened to message me and asked, "Hi, do you want to be on my game show?" I had no idea who this kid was, and didn't see anything wrong with it at the time, so I decided I might as well. The game show was basically a cheaper version of Striker's Ultimate Parkour Master. I was aware that the video was being recorded, but I didn't really mind because it was fun and silly and I didn't see anything wrong with it. I played with Willow on his server maybe 2 or 3 more times, and decided to leave it there because I didn't feel I was getting much out of this. The thing is, Willow is one of those people who will message you, and if you don't reply within 5 seconds, he'll keep messaging you. He'll message you every day, and it gets annoying. It didn't seem to be stopping, so I asked Game Show Central, a server I'm part of, what I should do. The most common response I got was block him. This surprised me at the time, but ever since I announced I was making this video, I have gotten messages from other Discord users, and that's when the pieces begin to really fall together. Months later, I joined Overloaded Anarchy, another Discord server mostly dedicated to playing Trapped, which is the game show that I recreated in Minecraft with RXM, Toad, and the Man in the Mask under the channel Mind Zone Productions. When we weren't playing Traps, we also played a lot of Jackbox. It was then when I began to notice a lot of memes and jokes about Willow, especially in the Jackbox game Quiplash, which I describe as Cards Against Humanity, but all the cards are blank. Many of the custom-made questions were about Willow, clearly asking to insult him. And Willow was part of the server too. I played in a group anyway. I didn't necessarily agree with some of the bullying in there, but everyone was acting so laid back that I decided not to let it bother me. But then, I started to hear this on repeat. It was at this moment where I really began to see the downfall of Willow's channel. Before this, the only thing he seemed to do, in my eyes, was film himself doing all the stuff I mentioned before with the food abuse and wrestling the stuffed animals. It definitely wasn't my cup of tea, so I just didn't watch them. That wasn't the case for some of the people in the Overloaded Anarchy server. They just like to make fun of him, or go to watch the videos just to dislike them. Like I mentioned, I don't really like to be a bully, and I consider this a little far. But after seeing the chaos this kid has gotten himself into, I have to side with what the people are saying, that if he doesn't at least leave YouTube, Willowsway is seriously going to have to mend the error of his ways to escape from the deep sea of troubles he's drowning in. I'm going to list down some of the bad things this kid has done, with evidence from videos and screenshots from both Willow himself and other YouTubers and Discord users, hoping that if Willow sees these explained calmly from someone who wants to help instead of be a harassment, then maybe, just maybe, we might just get this all sorted. This is probably the most obvious one people have reported.
He was called out by Harry saying, you know, as racism and all that, and he's saying, I know, stop, you know, calling me racist way and stuff like that, but then he basically turned and said, I'm not a racist, even though there's evidence proving he is in fact a racist.
It might sound like a simple rumor, but thanks to a channel known as God's Work, I can confirm that Willow has indeed said the N and F words.
Going is the only in this family.
You're just going through reverse niggism.
The N word he seems to be especially fond of. Not only that, but he will only allow himself to say it and delete videos with him saying it when other people call him out.
Whoa! Do not say the N-word, God's Work.
I hate. Did you hear me? I hate.
I can't confirm if Willow as a person is really this racist and homophobic. One moment he'll say he hates Billy Bo 10K, a YouTuber who is very open with his gayness.
That's, I'm gay. This does nothing for me.
I think Billy Bo 10,000 is a fucking queer. I hate Billy Bo 10,000!
Then he'll steal his content. And yes, I'll be discussing this later in the video. I have a gut feeling that this kid might not be this racist and might just be saying these words for the sake of views. One of the main reasons I describe his channel as attention seeking. I'm not going to make any direct accusations unless I have the evidence to back it up. And I will have some of this evidence later in the video.
You're just going through reverse niggism.
I'm mostly talking about the incident with Jack Howell. I have very minimal information on this situation, so I'm not going to go into too much detail with this. The best source I have comes from RXM, who is a very close friend of mine, not just online, but in real life as well. From what I've seen, Willow got into a fight with this Jack, and the two of them began making videos back and forth, arguing with each other, humiliating the other, and it got to the point where Jack and his dad allegedly threatened to call the police.
Please don't get rid of me.
He got overreacted and he started angry, so yeah.
It's very hard to determine whether this fight was real or not. If it was real, then this just seems like a ridiculous, if not petty argument, simply for the sake of arguing. If it is fake, however, then these two basically stage drama to get more views, which just shows how attention hungry these channels can get. I would not be surprised if this isn't the only fight Willow has gotten into, and I'm sure other people have a lot more to say than I do, but as I mentioned, I'm simply stating what I know for myself. Back when I wasn't aware of how nasty Willowsway could get, I was happy to play a bit of Minecraft with him. Then I noticed he began making videos with me. He wouldn't actually take footage of me, but he would use my Minecraft head for randomizers and other videos. The biggest one he made was GiLaw wins Raven and reunites with Adina. This might seem harmless at first, but little did I know that this was starting something, and the more I look back at this video, the more uncomfortable it becomes for me. In fact, when I look back at some of these messages he did send to me, knowing what this guy is like now, I really should have known better. These messages should have been warning signs to block him straight away and to leave him alone. But I can be too nice for my own good, and I'm really not proud of it. The beginning of this year is when it really started. I was playing the Jackbox game Monster Seeking Monster with Overloaded Anarchy, which Willow happened to be a part of. Monster Seeking Monster is a sort of dating game where you have to guess as many dates as possible despite being, well, a monster. I began to notice lots of jokes aimed towards Willow having a crush on me, which I found to be really strange. What really sets off the red flag, however, was after the game, when Willow sent me this. I blocked him straight after that and didn't talk to him because I was really alarmed. 2 months later, I joined a round of Minigame Match, a series of games hosted by Cosmic Cortex. Basically, he and some of his friends organized a series of minigames for a livestream on Twitch. There was a lot of people, so the chat was divided into 3 voice calls. You could join whichever voice call you wanted. Willow just happened to be in this server and seemed insistent on being on the same voice chat as me. I tried changing voice chats, but he would change them too, just to be in the same one as me. Even when I told him to stop, he kept on doing it. It got even creepier when we played this super jump PvP game where you shoot everyone. I specifically remember Willow saying that I is the only person allowed to shoot him. I haven't played Minigame Match since, partly due to study schedules, but mainly because I just didn't want to repeat this situation. And since the drama has risen, I've discovered that I'm not the only person Willow has creeped on. This guy has said questionable things to and about other female Discord users. A close friend of mine told me that once in the voice chats, Willow said he wanted to marry me.
What? The second one's pretty good, but the first one's kind of
The second one was dead. No, I don't.
Wait. I think we all want to know.
Yes!
Would you actually want the second one to happen?
No.
I thought I said
Yes!
This is especially uncomfortable when you look at the age ranges. I'm 21 years old, which means that I'm an adult. Willowsway is 15, which isn't old enough to even be considered an adult. If these ages were in reverse, Willow could be called out for pedophilia. Other Discord users have complained on how insistent he can get with his messaging, using emotional manipulation to get people to hang out with him, which, lonely or not, just isn't cool. And I strongly doubt it's a pleasant situation for any of these Discord users. It's certainly a very uncomfortable situation for me. If anything, I feel almost betrayed because I was aware that Willow wasn't that popular, so I tried to be as nice as I could, when really, I was just feeding his ego. There's a fine line between taking a video, twisting it around, maybe slapping on a different title to get your feelings of something across, and I've done it before myself. But here's the thing. If you decide to quote-unquote make one of these videos, you need to at the very least acknowledge the creator. That's not what Willow does. Willow will take another YouTuber's video, insert himself into them, and claim them to be his own. He's been doing this for a while. It's really triggered me on Monday the 15th of April when Willow uploaded 2 of Minecraft Trap's videos replacing scenes of the caretaker with himself, narrating it instead without asking permission of anyone in the Mindzone Productions or giving us any credits. Minecraft Trap's episodes are not fun to make. You have to pay for a server, build the tower, build a caretaker's room, build and organize loads of challenges, find contestants, sort out time zones, set a scheduled time that everyone can agree to, then record the episode. And then when that's finished, you need to dub the footage, script scenes for the caretaker, who is played by Arcee, organize a time for him to come, record his scenes, then put the entire episode together. This can take up to a year. So for this guy to basically copy and paste these videos, not acknowledge us, and think that he could ever get away with this is beyond insulting.
I made my very own version of Minecraft Trapped.
No. It's not your very own version, Willow. This is why Mindstone Productions sent you a copyright strike. The worst, however, is when he stole videos made by BiddyBull10K, a wonderful YouTuber and good friend of mine. Billy puts a lot of heart and efforts into his videos, and you can tell he cares deeply for his fans and dedicates his time to making good content. Willow takes these videos of passion, slaps his face over them, and pretends he's part of this. Not only did Willow steal Billy's videos without his permission and pass these videos as his own, but it goes to the next level of creeping. This goes beyond fanboying over a celebrity you like. This is almost stalking. Even Billy expressed his discomfort in a tweet. This led to Willow's third copyright strike, leading to his channel being taken down. You would think that after 3 copyright strikes and losing his channel, Will would stand back to think about his actions. Take some time off YouTube. Use this as a guide to make better videos with passion and efforts. He didn't. He went to his other channel, and soon enough, he was making the same content, refusing to listen to anyone who had anything mildly negative to say. This leads me to my final point. Everyone has called Willow out on this. This kid is so deep in denial that he will delete comments, any ones that appear even mildly threatening, instead of taking it like a champ and accepting that his content is not good. If you've ever been given a lesson on bullying in maybe kindergarten, one of the top tips they'll always give you in dealing with bullying is never bully back. They tell you this because this is exactly what will happen when you do it. People are always going to be a bit hurt by nasty comments, but the way Willow has the nerve to send death and hack threats, call haters the N-word, and delete mean comments, that says more about him than it says about the commenters.
Genie, kill yourself, kill all your family members, I'm done with you!
It's gotten to the point where he won't even allow likes, dislikes, or comments. By playing the victim, he has become a bully himself, leading to even more dislikes than he ever had before. Willow, you ask yourself why people bully you. I have an answer for you. You won't like it, but it needs to be said. You make yourself an easy target. You need to stop making these videos, because not only are they a nuisance to dedicated creators, but they're an embarrassment to yourself. These are things you would not do in public, so what makes you think you should do it on the internet where 10 times more people can see you? You need to stop with these videos for everyone's sake. If the comments, dislikes, and copyright strikes don't say that enough, I don't know what will. You can comment on this video if you want to, but I won't accept any bullying nonsense. If anything, if you decide to harass me for this, it just proves my points further. Take a break from YouTube. For yourself. Not for anyone else. Partly for everyone else. But mostly for you. Just stop. Take a break from YouTube.